everybody, welcome to my channel, The Cookbook Collector Cooks. My name is Em, I am the Cookbook Collector, and today we will be cooking from Nigella Lawson's Cook, Eat, Repeat. Hi everybody, it's really good to be back. I'm really happy to be here filming another video after so long, and I really hope my skills in cooking as well as in filming have not deteriorated, even though I'm sure they have slightly. I'm so sorry for any awkward pauses or moments where you might think, get on with it woman, which is pretty much about right now, so let's get on with it. Today we're going to be cooking from Cook, Eat, Repeat, right? Nigella Lawson, which I'm pretty sure those of you who know me already know I didn't have before I went on my hiatus. More on that later. Today, what we're going to be cooking is a Norwegian pork rib roast, and this is how it looks. I mean, hers obviously looks better because she's a master chef and I am not, but we'll see how I do in the kitchen later. And with this Norwegian pork roast, I'm going to be making a pickled cucumber salad, which is like a candy cucumber salad thing, which should taste good. Lots of dill. And with that, I'm going to be making a mean green dirty martini, which means halfway through this, when the pork roast is roasting, we're gonna spill some tea. Martini. Whatever the case, I'm here. We're gonna get cooking, so let's move along. Alright, so here we are. We're gonna start prepping the pork, which I picked up from an online producer this time around because we're still on lockdown, so I wasn't able to actually go out and get more pork. But this looks pretty good, and I was wanting to test out like online for people. So this is what I got. It's really pretty, and you can see here that unlike Nigella's pork, which is actually sliced through here, I wasn't able to get an online store to cut it for me, but also I'm not going to bother cutting it myself because I don't have great upper arm strength. So I'm just going to slap the marinade on this baby and hope it all goes well. So we're going to start off by making the marinade with some juniper berries. It's very easy to make. Essentially, there's these little berries from the juniper tree, I imagine. They're very frequently used in Christmas cooking, so it's very spice. It's a sort of warm but fruity kind of spice. We're gonna go ahead and put about 1 tablespoon of juniper berries, and next up we're gonna add in some pepper, which is always good. I'm gonna go with like 1 tablespoon or so of it. This is a much smaller slab of pork than Nigella uses. This is like about 2.5 kilos. This is probably just about 1.5 kilograms. Next up, we're gonna use some garlic cloves. The recipe calls for 3, which I have here, but there's no freaking way I'm gonna just use 3. So I have here about 7 cloves, and we're just gonna chuck them in. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get this in, and then just tuck the dill into the blender, add some salt. Now what the salt is going to do is help the garlic to let out some of its moisture when you blend it together. So that's what we're going to do right now. So we're done with the blending, and it's basically just become this wonderful, fantastic smelling paste, and it's really sort of fresh. It's got a really nice fresh flavor, and oh, I love it. I love the way it smells. So you can really smell the juniper, and the dill is really strong. So what we're gonna do now is we're just going to basically rub it over this and let the flavors permeate for a little bit, and then we're gonna get to preparing the base corn, which is gonna rest while it roasts. So what we're gonna do is basically we're gonna take some of this and basically just start rubbing it on top of the pork, right? It's pretty idiot-proof stuff. Again, if there was slits in this, it would be much easier to work into the meat, but you know, like I said earlier, I have pretty bad upper body strength, so let's not even go there. so now this is ready. We're just gonna leave it to marinate about while we get on some onions, which is basically just easy, where we're just gonna slice them in rings and then pretty much just layer them under the pot so that the pot can cook on top of it and it doesn't pool up in puddle water, so it gets like nice and sort of gets a nice crust without actually losing its moisture. The thing is, Nigella's version actually has like a whole bunch of pork belly with the skin on, and I did not get the belly part with the skin on. I pretty much just got the ribs, so I don't think it's going to be that crucial for us to get it. It's pressed. What I really want to do is make sure that there is a flavor base so that this whole joint of ribs I just want them to basically roast rather than braise. So we're just gonna cut this and let's see. Move this aside for a little while. Oh, get me a knife. So just thick slices, right? Alright, so now we're basically done with that. We're gonna take our pork again, and what we're gonna do is essentially take the onion slices and slide them under the pork, like so. So that the onion sort of helps to elevate the pork, you know, so that it slides, so that the fat slides off one end rather than pooling in the center. So we're just gonna keep doing that. It's pretty idiot proof. Alright, so now we're done with layering all the onions under this gorgeous, gorgeous thing, and it smells really good. Look at how beautiful this is. So essentially what we're going to do now is we're going to cover it up with some tin foil and then bring it to the oven. I've got mine going at 220 degrees Celsius and basically roast it covered for about an hour or so. Like I said earlier, this is actually a really small roast compared to Nigella's, and there's none of that crackling thing involved, so there's no fat, and because there's no fat that I need to crisp up, I'm not really too much worried about having it be crisp so much as I want it to be moist and tender. So that's what we're gonna go do now, and once it's in the oven, we'll come back and make some pickled cucumber. Alright, so we're back and we're gonna start making our cucumber pickle, which is basically very thinly sliced cucumber, which we're going to steep in salt until all the liquid comes out, and then we're going to slice it really, really thinly. Now the thing is, whenever I use a knife to slice stuff, it never gets quite as thin as I would like it to be, which means I generally need to grate it, but I'm way too lazy to take out my machine for it. And I also don't have a mandolin, but thankfully my cousin has this wonderful contraption which her friend brought back for her, and she has kindly decided to let me use it, which means I can make really thinly sliced cucumber easily without hurting myself. So I think it's safe to assume that what you do is make sure there's this guard here, right? So you just fancy that! Okay. Right, I think we're done. Right, so now that we're done with this, we're basically just gonna get some salt over here and sprinkle it over and then mix it up with your hands and just basically let it sit for about 30 minutes until all the water gets soaked out. So you're gonna massage it in, and you wanna make sure that all the cucumber gets a little bit of salt in it. Alright, now that this has been salted and there's a lot of liquid coming out already, we're gonna make the marinade, which requires a little bit of cooking, but very light. So we're gonna get a little pan, and what we're gonna do is take some coriander seeds, and then we're gonna put in some pepper. Forgo the salt, but we're going to need apple cider vinegar. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants here because I'm lazy, but the actual recipe is in the book. I will, if you want it, you can look it up, or you can ask and you shall receive. And after that, you're basically going to need some dill for flavor. So I'm just gonna like dice this up. There was like a dill shortage yesterday for whatever reason. Couldn't find it in my usual shopping mall, so I had to we had to drive elsewhere to get it, and obviously now I have a lot of it. So in goes the dill, and we have some sugar here. So we're gonna add sugar into this, and then we're gonna add some water. We're just gonna add the rest of the water now. And now that this is done, we're pretty much just going to let it simmer on the stove for about 5-10 minutes, let the flavors sort of deepen and get to know each other. And then after that, we're gonna come right back and check on our cucumbers. Alright, so the pickling liquid is more or less done. We're just gonna let it sit there and cool while we get on with our cucumbers. And this has been macerating here for a little bit now, and a lot of the water has actually come out. So we're going to be reserving this water, and I have here a jar. We're gonna use this jar to pretty much marinate the cucumbers in, essentially. They're actually ready to serve after like 30 minutes of sitting in the juice, but we're gonna try and keep it a little bit longer. I mean, we'll be serving some later with the pork, but the rest I'll keep in the fridge for, you know, sandwiches and stuff. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to start squeezing, really just squeezing the water of the cucumbers, because the more water stays in the cucumbers, the less likely it is to keep for a very long time. And I think we actually have more jar than we do cucumber, so this is not likely to last very long at all. Slices inside here. Remember, you're going to want to reserve this liquid if you want a martini, and I most certainly want a martini. So, this is pretty much ready. Looks good, it smells really, really fresh. So what we're gonna do now is pour over our marinade. I know I keep calling it a marinade when in truth it is really a pickling liquid. This is well filled now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna leave it uncovered to stand for about 30 minutes. I don't think that's going to cause the cucumber to change color. And look how beautiful it is right now, right? So this will probably be able to absorb some of the flavor, but still retain some of that gorgeous green crunch in 30 minutes. Now, according to the book, this should actually sit in the fridge and last throughout the entire week, but I really don't think it's gonna make it that far in this household, especially. But in the meantime, while this sits, we're gonna make a dirty martini. And I already have most of the implements here because I'm a dirty, dirty alcoholic. Alright, so I've done some light cleaning up, which basically just involved moving everything into the sink behind. So what we're gonna do now is make a dirty martini, which is essentially generally just a regular martini with a splash of olive juice inside. In lieu of that, Nigella's book actually suggests using some of her cucumber pickling liquid. So I have that right here. I have my shaker, I have martini, I have vodka right here. So let's get to it. We're gonna go with, I'm just gonna go with my own dimensions, considering I like my martinis a certain way. So I'm gonna go with 1 shot of vodka, give or take 3 more. And then we're going to do 1 shot of vermouth. I think that should just be enough in this old bottle. So there we go, 1 shot of that. And then we're gonna put in just 1 shot of this glorious green. Look how beautiful it is. Okay, now that we've got that, we're gonna get some ice. Haha! Okay. That should be enough ice. Oh! Alright. So now we're done with this martini glass. Oh, that smells good. Let's see. Ooh. Oh my god, this is good. So I figured since we're waiting for the pork to finish roasting, we might as well sit here and enjoy this drink and talk about how things have gone for me since the last time I filmed, which was quite a little while ago, give or take 9 months. So I've made quite a few mistakes, my ex notwithstanding. Oh yeah, and one of them involved actually shopping for cookbooks. Be real, you all saw this coming, didn't you? There's no freaking way I would have gone that long without buying any cookbooks. But unlike the other thing, I actually don't regret this at all, because I ended up with some really great finds, like this bowl stories, and you know, a lot of my favorite foods revolve around bowls, like soups and noodles, and you know, I am Asian, therefore soups and noodles sort of like run in my veins. I think if you cut my veins open, noodles would come out, soup would come out. So this bowl stories book is pretty good, and they have like a lot of recipes that I'm very excited to cook from. I mean, steamed dumplings, definitely, yes. There are udon noodles and soy caramel. Oh, doesn't that sound delicious? And like the whole aspect of it just really, you know, this book has photos that are taken on a black backdrop, which I think is so like, it's just design wise, it's just so aesthetically beautiful, and like, I love it. As someone who is deeply inclined towards all things creative, I think this is excellent. Like, I wish I could take food photos like this, and you know, maybe one day if I collect enough cookbooks, I'll be able to. I'll learn, you know. And I also got this book called A Simple Table, and what I really do like about this book is that it sort of highlights a lot of recipes that are healthy. Like, I'm not exactly the healthiest cook or the healthiest eater, but like a lot of this is stuff that I can essentially imagine myself eating and cooking and basically enjoying. Like this spiced cauliflower and potatoes. Like, who doesn't love cauliflower? And prawn burgers and all that. So it's a different perspective for me, because for a long time, like, my cooking style has basically been the same few recipes that I feel comfortable in and cook a lot, which is why I actually wanted to kickstart this challenge, because realistically speaking, I don't have any issue with collecting cookbooks, because I'm the sort of person who thinks that the books are meant to be kept as like, not just for reference, but also as pieces of art. I'm saying this, and I sound like someone who's just trying to justify her shopping addiction, but I mean it. When it comes to cookbooks, I really do love looking at them, because they make very gorgeous picture books. So, essentially what this challenge is for me is a way to learn not just how to cook, but also how to film, how to edit, how to be more comfortable in my own skin in front of camera. So, you know, now that I've recently offloaded some dead weight, I should have way more time in which to take advantage of all my cookbooks. I also have the kitchen cookbook, and I mean, for all the time I've spent on the kitchen website, you have to admit that like, they are very deserving of my money. I've spent many years searching up recipes on the kitchen, and so I was very delighted when I found this cookbook. I bought this cookbook on its own. It was not part of the cookbook haul that I had a couple months ago. So this was, I actually had the opportunity to flip through this, and like, sweet potato and caramelized onion hash with baked eggs. Come on. Look at that and tell me you don't want to eat it. Like, I want that in my mouth right now. And I have pork cooking in the oven. so this one, I did say the last time that my will to not buy another cookbook only lasts so long as Nigella Lawson's cookbook doesn't come out, and proved myself right. Technically, I didn't buy this one. My sister bought it for me as a present that she had absolutely no idea about, that I ordered and paid for myself. But it's a gift from my sister regardless. So thank you very much, dearest sister of mine, for this wonderful cookbook that I have now cooked from. Alright, so with that said, what's up for the future of my channel? Well, obviously, now that I've broken my resolution to not buy any more cookbooks again, I have actually no idea how many cookbooks there are in my bookshelf right now. I think it's because I don't actually want to know for fear of scaring myself, but I'm gonna continue cooking from each and every one of my cookbooks, so I will update the list in my master list below. So if you ever decide to take a look and make a request, do in the comments. I am very open to suggestions. But in the meantime, I think the port might be ready, so we should go check it out. Oh my god, this is perfect. It smells really, really good. So we're gonna I'm not really sure how to cut this, but I guess we just slice it through like rib from rib and see how that works. I don't think I'll be able to get through. Oh, I can. Damn. Oh. Okay. Alright, so we've put those two ribs down there, and we're gonna try and plate it up with some of these cucumbers, which look really, really good right about now. Oh my god, it's so good. Okay, so we're just gonna swirl this around a little bit. Oh yeah, that's good. Last up, we're pretty much just gonna garnish with a little bit of leftover dill, and then that's it. This is good to go. Okay. So, I'm done. That's it for this video. I hope you all had fun, and I hope you all learned a little something, and I hope you all will stick around with me. And if you're going to, please click follow and like this video and share it with all your friends so you all can watch me cook and mess up in the kitchen all over again. Bye!